All right, so here we are. I'm making lineups for Xfinity. Not just, a few minutes ago, I finished the PDF and everything, and just kind of want to talk my way through how I want to build lines today. I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth on the MME tool that we have because I've had a lot of questions about using that, not just from like one individual person, but I've had like several people ask me about that this week. And since we're no longer at Daytona and we're at a track to where this thing is actually useful in building line. Not that it's not useful at Daytona, but like where I really enjoy using it. Um, yeah. So we'll talk about that. We'll kind of talk about my strategy and stuff. I will be showing you this screen here that'll have a combination of the. Let me go ahead and move that. Actually, it's gonna be a little difficult because I had to. Like I said, my computer went out. I had to switch screens. I'm gonna put. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put this on this screen here. And yeah, let's just start having fun and building lines. Make sure that's fine. Okay, cool. Opening thoughts. Let me move this here. Sorry about this. And sorry, I have my window open. If I get whitewashed, like whatever from the light, it doesn't really matter. So this is where I'm at right now in projections and stuff. Let me move this over here. So, I don't really. These are kind of my train of thoughts for this race. Where's this cord on my right or my left? It's on this side. So, I'll just read from here. I hate being on this computer, man. Also, this thing is so slow. You'll see that I have a heavy tool open. I've kind of already ran that. I'll talk you through that just because I didn't want I didn't want it just taking forever to load stuff. So let's see where I'm at here. Where I'm at is all my early lap leader type of lineups are probably going to be being handmade. And what I mean by that is the Nemechek and Austin Hill, even Cole Custer lines, I'll probably have to hand make it because I don't necessarily want to mess with the optimizer. Right now, I wanted to just run with the projections that I have, and right now I have, people like Reddick, people like Chastain in the back. These people are, Josh Berry, even Sam Mayer, are outscoring some of the main front runners to lead laps and stuff. And you have to remember that this race is going to have yellows as well. We're probably going to lose races 180 laps, 150 laps, so we are going to probably lose 40 fast laps in this race due to yellows, if not more. So that loses a little bit of possible laps that we can have going to those drivers. I would lean right now to an early lap leader not being worth it. Yes, I'm going to build, and what I'm probably going to do is cap myself at 10 lines because I can easily see myself getting in trouble if I just continuously build lines. I'll probably end up eating the chalk for most of those, make some pivots here and there. But for the most part, I'm going to lean to an early lap leader not being worth it. In a situation where yellows come out and the place differential guys in the back fade, like if Chastain runs into an issue, if Reddick gets wrecked, if Creed, I think Creed is a really good play, but if he, wrecks, it leans to, an early lap leader, somebody like Cole Custer sneaking into the optimal lineup and stuff like that. Let's see. I think in my projections right now are leaning to this race being ran on Sunday, and I mean clearly this video is going up whenever the race goes live, or it's going live whenever the race is. But I'm leaning to, these cars not being on a green racetrack. These cars being on a track that has had, the Cup cars on it, rubber put in, things like that. So the Cup guys have an advantage, in my opinion. And I haven't even projected like anywhere near like ceiling performances from like Reddick and stuff. So like even here, like you see, Chastain's I got Chastain projected for fucking 10th place. Okay, like that's not insane. And the way that I do fast laps and laps led projections, I usually go to like very specific numbers. I just round them up because we can only go from like we use, or Pierce's sheet works better with whole numbers here, and so I just round up or down. But in terms of like fast laps and laps led projections, it's right around like 3 points added on to his place differential. At 68 points, he can easily score more. Creed can easily score more, but I think these are very much, right where we should have the the projections at. And so clearly, yeah. So like I have Cole Custer at 61, Tyler Reddick at 65, Creed at 61, 65 for Ross Chastain. And so depending on what Cole does, if he wants to lead, if he wants to win the race, whatever the case may be, that'll either force him in or force him out and stuff. What else am I looking at? Okay, so that's where I'm at. Let's go ahead and open this up here. So and I actually wrote down my notes of what I do in this just to answer some questions that I have. So I open up the MME tool, copy it, do all my stuff. So at this point, and I want to explain to you why and how there are limitations in this, that like you have to mess around with it a little bit. Yeah, it's free, or it's included in our stuff. It's not a Saber Sim, it's not a fancy cruncher, not a fancy labs, but I enjoy it. It gets a job done for what I need it to do. But you do need to know what you're doing. So like when you first load everything in, my first run with no changes is a lineup that has 268 projected points. That's Sammy, Jeffrey Earnhardt, one of the Sieg drivers, Cole Custer, Joe Graff Jr., Sheldon Creed. Clearly, I don't want to run that lineup, but since I, copy and paste into this, and we already have all these would be like 30, and then it goes to 20 and stuff like that, it's going to run with that. And so that's the first initial line that it gives me. I don't want to use that line. Like, you should not be using the first line. You should go in there and mess with them. And so next, I remove people, for example, that will not be used. And so actually, let me get my, when you look at the heat map here, I can pull this over without fucking destroying shit left and right. What did I just move? Did I just move them all? This is why I hate this computer so much. Hold on. Sorry, give me a second here. This thing is so bad. Okay, so you'll see this on the heat and you fuck. Hold on. What a disaster! What a disaster! Jesus Christ, dude! I fucking hate this goddamn computer. It's also my mouse too, and I'm too stubborn to open my fucking new mouse. I had so many issues, dude. I have so many fucking problems. I have so many mental fucking cognitive just things that bring me down. Anyway, so when you look at the heat map, you have this, and I left Hill here. I have this, as I said earlier in the preseason, that I want to I want to do a better job at playing value or playing guys that don't necessarily. My cap used to be like 5x. Like I need to see a value of 5, otherwise I'm not going to play. I've limited that down to 4.8 this year to try and open up more possible people to use, things like that. And so I kept Austin Hill highlighted because I want to have an Austin Hill line. I think you should as well, even though he's not going to project out very well. But you're going to see that this year these are going to be green, where I would normally put yes by the pool or by a driver. And the green indicates, as I state here, highlighted driver indicates we will be considered my personal player pool in building lines. This is the pool that I run with in... Did I... Hold on. What I do with the other one? I have that. I have that one. I X'd out of my fucking MME tab or MME tool. I'm telling you, man, like it's so. What a pain. What an absolute pain. Okay, now that we got that back, let me put this back on the screen. Okay, so if you look here, you see, the highlighted green drivers, and for me, this represents who I am not removing from this pool. So at this point in the step, I'm removing people that are not going to be used. For example, in this situation, I removed Austin Hill because I realized that my projections and what it's telling me and what this is giving me, that Austin Hill is just not going to be fucking used. And I don't want to artificially inflate his projection in this situation because I want this telling me who it wants me to play or who it thinks it should play and everything like that. So I'm not going to bump up anybody's projection here. I'm removing people based on how I believe that they're going to run in this, or how they're going to they're gonna go based on my projections. Okay, so I remove the people, and then my next step, and this is where, personally for me, most lineups will be made or lost here. Like how my weekend goes determines what happens in this next step. And so once I've zeroed in people, I then go through and change the numbers based on how much I want people to be used, how much I want to personally, how much interest I have in them. So like me, Austin, like Ross Chastain, I personally believe Chastain's going to be optimal. I want him at 30. I want Hemrick at 30, Sheldon Creed, and you can see how I've like kind of, as I start moving up closer and closer, we start losing people and so on and so forth. I wanted Custer to be in there, but he's still only being put in with 35% of the lines and stuff like that. And so at this point, I'm getting an idea of what kind of where I want to go. I'm also using this as a situation where if my projections are somewhat close to what happens, we're going to get an idea of where we should go with our value and where you should go with like filling out your line. Like you can see, I'm not going insanely high on Timmy Hill, but it's telling me with the people I want to play, we're going to play Hill. Yeah, I am not going to argue this. I got Timmy Hill for a 26th place finish. That might still be a bit extreme, but we can bump that down, and we're still going to have him, easily get close to 5x. I just think he's going to finish 26th. As I said, I gave my hypothesis on what this car is going to do. I think we're going to have yellows here. I think Timmy Hill is just going to be smart. They need owner points. And they need to actually make this race. They have quite a lot of money invested in this car. I think he'll be just fine. What are we at now? So, I'm seeing that Timmy Hill is showing up for me as a good play. We're also seeing that Alex LeBay is coming in quite a lot because, and I think he's a good value play. I think so at this point, based off of, this pool and based off, these projections here, or I could just go here, and based off these projections here, this is kind of where it's wanting to tell me. And so at this point, I ran this earlier. My highest line was 270 or 297, which I'm seeing here again. That was LeBay, Barry, Ross Chastain, Hill, Hemrick, Creed, which is this line here. So this is where I'm at. As I said, I don't pull all the lines from here, but that line, this projected line here with 49.8 left over, I will write that down, and I'm like, okay, cool. When I'm ready to start building lines, I'm going to put that line on DraftKings. Simple as that. And then I'll go through, and at this point, I want to try and at least look, what is the difference between this line? So this is going Sam Mayer over Josh Berry. Okay? So this line saying Sam Mayer over Josh Berry. I like that. That's not that bad. And so for me, because I understand that I'm probably just going to eat a lot of chalk, and I'll probably, if I'm doing 10 lines, I'll probably be in the same range of a lot of them. Like these first 3 lines here make a lot of sense for me, and I will probably end up playing them. So like I like this one. I like that this one has everybody outside of Mayer, So I'll just write that down and just have Mayer instead of Josh Berry. I like that line. I like the way this is built. It's 49,300. So I have 2 of my 10 lines already made. And I like this Cole Custer line because I'm already getting a Cole Custer line in here. Hemrick, Bailey, Curry, Cole Custer, Hill, Creed, Reddick. Now this is 49.8. When I'm going to write these down, I don't put them directly into DraftKings right now, even if we have like a 2-hour turnaround. I usually write stuff down and I'll adjust them or like see fit. Like in this situation, the Bailey Curry is not concerning. Like I would be like, can I get up to somebody else other than Bailey Curry? I'm going to assume no with the salary constraints there. Why am I doing this one over like this? What's the one below? What's the one above it? That's all the tied ones. Like this one is Hemrick, Curry, Custer, Hill, Creed, and Reddick. Okay, and at this point, as I said, like my week is already decided by this. Like I know I want to play Reddick. I want to play Chastain. I want to play people like Timmy Hill and Daniel Hemrick. My weekend's already been decided. Like seriously, I have the drivers that I want to play. I have the people that I want to go to. I have an idea of how my lineups are going to be constructed. Now, whether Creed gets wrecked or he puts himself on the wall, Chastain gets wrecked, like so on, so be it. But my week is already decided at this point. I'm not gonna really deviate off of this to other things. Like I just don't see it. Um, so what I'm going to do now is I'll still kind of goof around and look here, but right now I have 3 lines that I'm very happy with. I have a quote unquote lap leader line with Custer over Chastain. I have my 2 lines that are telling me like chase the place differential stuff. So at this point, I know for a fact I'm gonna have an Austin Hill line, a John Nemechek line. I might end up doing like 12 lines for Xfinity. This is why I'm trying to pump the brakes. I know I could very easily get into a lot of issues and a lot of trouble. I can lose a lot of money here if I start investing too much. So maybe I'll end up with 12 lines. So at this point, I'm going to go through and just look at kind of where these are at. So like Kaz Gralla, interesting that's at 20. He's 23. It's very interesting that Ross is only 35. He's hitting value. Right now it's saying that Creed, or it's saying that Custer and other people can get in. I'm probably, like I said, I'll probably end up being 70% Chastain. And this is why I love a combination of, running lines that this gives me and then hand building my own lines and stuff like that. Let's see. Reddick is interesting. He could very easily have a fucking killer day. San Paila Bay. I don't think this, just due to how many people are back here. I would love to play Joe Graff Jr. and Sammy Smith. I would love them. I would love to play these guys, but I don't think they are a real viable option this week, just with how many people are starting back and how well they have to do versus other people. So Moffitt is a guy that when I think I want to get interesting with Moffitt here, with Miss Moffitt, with Agent Starling, Moffitt, to Miss Moffitt. Um, so at this point, I don't really see the point of going in here and running another run. It's typically if I was going to do more lines or get more interest, especially if we have a lot of potential lap leaders up front, I will run it more, remove people, add people. But I kind of like the pool that it has here. I have an idea of where it wants to go. We're seeing that if you drop it to 80s, we have like Jeffrey Earnhardt popping up 80s in terms of like 280s, and this is all relative to my own projections. So will this line tomorrow score 297 points? I don't believe so. It might be higher or lower, but based on my projections, this is what it is. So I always look based on what my projections are. So when I drop the 80s, I'm seeing Austin Dillon, I'm seeing Jeffrey Earnhardt pop up. But for the most part, it really is just the same core. Creed, we had a Nemechek line, Chastain. And so we can look at these and get an idea of like for example, let's look at the salaries here. So the main difference between this is one without a lap leader, a front early lap leader, versus this one with Nemechek. Look how much salary is left. So this is the difference of, what is that, 14 points. This is getting off of. This is using, so I don't think I'd use Sammy Smith with Nemechek, but this Nemechek line's interesting because it's going PD, 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 PD. So at this point, I'm like, okay, cool. I might have my Nemechek line here out of pure curiosity because I want to kind of edit this. So I write down, okay, edit, let's work with this. Let's see what we could do. We have LeBay, Hill, Timmy Hill. We have John R. Nemechek, we have Chastain, we have Smith, Creed. But I want to mess with that Smith. I'd rather get something different. See if I can do something different with that. Maybe either get off of Smith in this line and use the salary to either go somewhere else, or maybe even bump up Timmy Hill to another driver. Although he's going to be cheap, so I'd probably end up bumping up LeBay, possibly even Creed to Reddick. We'll see. All right, so let me go ahead and bring up DraftKings. So give me a moment to move this, and I'll have DraftKings on this screen, so you'll just see me go through lines. If you're familiar with how I keep up with my lines, I will have my other sheet on the right over here, basically just highlighting drivers that I have in lineups that you've seen time and time before. So we will have the DraftKings screen on the screen that you are going to see. And let's go ahead and bring it up. Hold on, I got a phone call real fast. All right. What was I? Oh yes. Yeah, we're gonna wander on over to DraftKings and go ahead and go through here, and we'll just start doing lines and stuff. So I've already reserved the 10 for Xfinity and stuff. 10, 4, 1, all that jibber jabber. Hasn't been pushed back. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be pushed back. Let me go ahead and check Twitter, and this is why I don't necessarily like having. I don't want to change OBS because it's currently set for this screen on this computer. But dude, my Twitter, I have no idea what's gonna pop up on there, and I don't really want to accidentally wander upon something. Let's see. Been checking this morning. Snell and Reddick, Ross Chastain to plan to both cover. They fucking better. No plan at the moment to not run the Xfinity Series race, which most likely, if postponed, will be after the Cup. We still don't have the fucking word? Bruh, it's been raining all day. Joey Logano says biggest concern is track weeping through the race. Yeah, no shit. This track does not want to die. That is the track crying. Okay, so DraftKings is saying that this is this is starting. We got this starting in 4 hours and 10 minutes, and that's most likely not gonna happen. So, and yes, this is time consuming. Yes, I know that there's better ways to do this, and that I could just enter. Actually, I probably could at this point. It's only 12 lines. Let's see what these. I've already reserved them. Let me see. We're at 4,000 there. This one probably won't. I think if I wasn't recording a video, I'd probably just enter them in the 1 and then mass enter in the 4, or export, whatever, the case is, whatever. We're just gonna fucking start. All right. Let me make sure I'm recording and everything. Yeah, we are. Okay, cool. So first 2 lines for sure gonna be the ones that it told me earlier. And it's basically the same line. It is LeBay. Actually, I can probably move this now. I don't need my pen. Move the keyboard over. Yet again, why am I doing this? I don't know. Just to show my process and stuff. A lot of people ask me how I do things. People are always curious about stuff. So what is that? We have Chastain. We have Hill. Like, honestly, the fucking week's gonna be determined on what MBM does with the fucking 66 car, man. It really will. Like, it's gonna fucking sink or swim the fucking week right there. So we got Hill. Actually, I gotta go back. I'll start from the top. So I got Alex LeBay. Got LeBay, Barry, Chastain, Hill, Hamrick, Creed. Cool beans. 200 left over. Okay. Yet again, just the part that most people get annoyed at and be like, you can, Brandon, there's way better ways to do this. There's way better ways. You're doing this ass backwards, and yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm very anal about my lineups and stuff, so I don't know, man. Throw down. Make sure they're all in. Cool. All right, let's do the next one. So this one swaps out Barry for mayor. And that is 493. Yep, 493. So that leaves 700 on the table. Okay, and then I will just copy this, except for everybody else. And so these are stack from the back lines. Brandon, you can stack from the back on these races. You can. You have to chase a lap leader and whatever, brother. That's what my fucking numbers are telling me. We're gonna do that. So basically, yet again, I mean, you guys fucking already know this, but like, that's basically the same line, man. If like Hemrick dies, both these lines are fucking dead in the water. Like that's why, yeah, I am capping myself at fucking 10 lines. There's no reason for me to put myself in a situation where I am absolutely hemorrhaging money because some fucking chalk driver wants to wreck his dumbass self. All right, what about it now? So we are at the what the fuck is this line? What is this one for? Hemrick, Bailey, Curry, Custer. Oh, this is the Cole Custer line. Okay, so we're getting Hemrick, we're getting Bailey Curry, we're getting Cole Custer, getting Timmy Hill. Damn, I really did just write that fucking name, not knowing I can't even read that. It was Creed, right? Looks like Creed, and that would land up on Creed. We're at 200. Okay, so here's an early lap leader line. We got Hemrick. Okay, yeah. So like and look, I'm gonna eat the chalk, dude. We're just eating the fucking chalk. I don't give a shit. Like Bailey Curry, different enough in this line. We all have. I mean, there's a driver in every line that's kind of off the wall, give or take. But the fucking chalk wants to kill themselves. My week's fucked, dude. My week is absolutely fucked, man. Creed and where's Reg at? So oddly enough, I haven't gotten Reddick. It's the first Reddick line. All right, so that's there. Oh yeah, hold on. Stop my music. Hold on. I need my music back. This show fucking vintage culture. This video recently got taken down. Not exactly sure why off of I think it's Spinning TV that was on, or the Vintage Culture YouTube, but it's a fucking baller, dude. Awesome music. It's awesome music for like background stuff too. If I got work and stuff, it's awesome. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1. Cool. Actually, I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm recording. I'd be pissed if I was accidentally streaming. Okay, so now we're on the first edit line that we're at. Oh, this is the first name check line. Oh, this is the name check line too. 81 just with the field. Like I want to play Creed. Not Creed. I want to play Joe Graff Jr. I want to play Sammy Smith a lot, but it's just hard to get done here. So yeah, we're leaving 600 on the table here. Why did it go there? Parker. Actually, Parker 40. 42. Umbrella, Moffat's interesting. I would just move up to Clerkman, honestly. LeBay, Hill. This is Nemechek. Chastain. Kligerman and Creed. What is up? Is this going? Where are I tweet? Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I've just been talking. Where are you? I'm already 3 minutes in this video. I was like, why? I shouldn't be that far in, but yeah, I forgot I've been talking. I missed all those songs. Anyway, hmm, how many minutes we had? We here for half an hour so far. I think this next line I'm gonna hand build here. Kind of see where I want to go with it. It's gonna chase place differential. Might leave money on the table. We'll see. So go ahead and look here. This is FPPK ranking, but will be very similar to projections wise. So what I want to do, so I'm gonna do this on this screen so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. So I want to do, I want Reddick. Okay, we're gonna make this line work. I want Creed. I want Chastain. I'm concerned about that Chastain's car not working, but oh well. Oh well, we'll get fucked. That's fine. Let's see where. So okay, we're here now. I make sure. So let me see. Let me try and figure out why this thing wasn't wanting to use these four together. Yes, we have 4,700 left. So I'm gonna have to end up using Hemrick, Kuster, Hemrick, Creed, Reddick, Hemrick, Creed, Reddick. So it doesn't put these four guys together all that often. We're playing Timmy. That this leaves us at Perkins, Joey Gaze. So this is gonna be a line that I Perkins, Gaze. Let's go ahead. I'll do it on this. I'll do it on this. I'll do it on this side. Let's do some quick research. Let's look at these cars, y'all. So I'm gonna compare directly between Perkins and Joey Gaze. You can see that you can see as it ran here, Joey Gaze in this car for his team last year finished 20th because it's turned into a wreck fest. So I just want to see. I want to see these two cars real fast. Perkins is in the 07. Sponsored. Fully sponsored. They destroyed the car at Daytona. Okay. Okay. The case has here. One legacy. It's a non-profit recovery organization serving Greater Los Angeles area. Community outreach and media relations represent California Highway Patrol. So we've got local funding. So at this point, both these cars, in my opinion, are sponsored. They're good cars in a sense. Are they going to break? Are they going to wreck? I would trust Joey Gaze more here. Going to ride. Going to be smart head to head between Joey Gaze and Blaine Perkins. I mean, you see the projections there, 19, 18. I'm going to go Joey Gaze to fill this line off. Fill this lineup off. Okay. And there we go. There's that line. So we'll run this fucker and see what happens. So this has Reddick, only my second Reddick line so far. Creed. Ross, Hemrick, Hill, and Gaze. Perkins probably has the faster car, which is kind of more scary in my opinion. I mean, it really is a toss up between those two guys. I just trust Joey Gaze not destroying the car. To be honest, he's going to be slower on speed, but maybe Perkins fucking shows up and just goes out there and runs, man. You know, this is a situation where let's see, man. If I do 12 lines, well, here's an example before we move on, because I might run that same line with Perkins. I don't think people are going to run that fucking line. So real quick, because at this point, I've been here for probably 45 minutes. I know this video is 37 minutes at the moment, but I took the phone call. I've been here. I've been working on the projections and all that stuff. So at this point, I want to take a break. But let's go over where I'm at right now. And so very clearly, right now, you already see where my stands are. Okay, if Creed wrecks, if Creed has a bad day, I'm fucked. If Hemrick has a bad time, I'm fucked. If Hill Chastain has a bad day, I'm fucked. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, so at this point, that's why that Gase and Perkins lineup, I'm chasing everybody in the back that I want. I'm chasing drivers who I think can even score better than what I have them projected in the back for. Gase and Perkins are going to be low owned. People aren't going to want to play them. People probably won't go that direction with that type of aggression with me. So I identify as I did that, like that Perkins line, Joey Gase and Perkins, I might just run both those lines. And I think I will. And maybe just do 11 lines or 12 lines. And I will, the cap for sure is 11, or the cap for sure is 12 lines. If I want to do any more than that, I'm not going to do it. But at this point, I kind of get the feeling that I kind of want to go from 10 lines to 12. So specifically if I'm kind of building them all the same, just kind of, have a different foothold and stuff. So I'm going to highlight Perkins right here because I'm probably going to get up and get some food. And I will come back. We are currently at, we're still like 4 hours out if it runs today. If it runs tomorrow, we'll be at forever. I still got to do Cup Series projections. I'll do that later as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes, man. What is this? What is this contest paying out real fast before I get up? The Production Alliance Group 200 or 250. This fucking dog shit, man. The goal is to get a line that lands right here and have luck carry it forward. That's really all it is, man. It's gonna be close, man. It's gonna be real fucking close. Small contest. So yeah, kind of, looking at these contests, I'm gonna get that fucking nuts. I kind of already made my stand. I've already made my hill. You know, so yeah, dude, I'm playing this. I'm playing this exact line, just swapping out Joe Gaze for Blaine Perkins. That'll probably be the next one I put in or put up. But I'm getting tired and I want to take a break. But look, this is it. Basically, like all the lines are gonna be built the exact same way at this point, man. I showed you how I use this, how I kind of go through it and look at it. I'm showing you kind of what I'm looking at here, my ideas, the projections that we're showing here. Thank you for everybody in the sheet right now and stuff. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this, supporting me, supporting Pierce, enjoying these types of content, and enjoying these types of videos. And yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not doing like all 12 lines here, but I need to get up and take a break, which I encourage you guys to do. I think you make better lines when you get up, when you do about half this, or you do about half your lines, whatever, and then you get up and walk around, come back in an hour. You'll be in a kind of different state of mind, train of thought, and everything like that, and you might go in some different directions or see things that you didn't see before. But this is where I'm at. So I thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys in the next video. See you then.